Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to be going over web crawling. We're going to be doing two aspects with this. We're going to be doing manual web crawling, and I'm going to show you a tool that I like to use called gospider. And the aspect of this is reviewing a website, kind of getting familiar with this layout, seeing if there's any places where there's user interaction with the website that you could potentially use for SQL injections or cross-site scripting. So here, I've been recently trying to get caught up on boxes from Try Hack Me for the past month, and I recently came across this one that was themed after an anime show. It had a very simple website, and I thought it'd be a great little showcase for this. So as you can see here, we're on the main page, and you see at the top here, we got the About, Courses, Admissions, Contacts. As we scroll down, we see Admissions has an Apply button. When I hover over, if you look in the bottom left, you see it's got that /# sign. So when you're doing the CTF boxes, stuff like that's going to indicate that that's a false link. It's not actually going to take you anywhere. So if I click on it, you see I'm still on the same page. Up here in the browser, it shows that. And all we have is some contact info down here. So we click on the About up here. You see we do get to go to a different page. And it just goes through, and there's some text here. Click on Courses. You see the same thing. If we hover over this, you look down the bottom. You see this is going to take us to the page we're already on. Scroll down some more, there's another button. You can see the same thing. And of course, you can also just right click, view page source. You can look through here. Here's the 4 links up top. And as we scroll down, let's see if I can find it. Yep, there they are. So you see that # there, view all courses, #, learn more, #. That just basically means reload the current page is what it's telling it to do, basically. And then come here to contact us. Now here you see there are some fields for the user to enter, and you see a submit button. And again, if we view page source, we can see that the names of them, type of fields they are, and the submit button looks to be valid. And you see all the social media stuff here just reloads current page. So naturally, the first thing I would want to do is just try these out and see if there's any cross-site scripting vulnerabilities there. And the biggest thing on this is take notes. Sublime, Cherry Tree, pen and paper, whatever you're doing with. You're doing a CTF for a playground like Try Hack Me or Hack the Box, or you're doing it for a competition, or you're doing it for bug bounties. Take notes. Take notes of each page you visit, anything that stands out about it. If you find a page like this that has forms that you can fill out, if you find login information, is there anything notable about the login? If you try like admin, do you get any type of error codes back? This is the point where learning to take good notes about what you come across is really going to play into how you're going to advance to try to get a foothold and try to get through. Alrighty, so that was a simple, easy little website to go through. And like I said, I picked it because it was just so simple. There wasn't much to it. And now over here in the terminal, I'm going to show you this tool. Now it is available on Kali. It is not installed by default. You will have to install it, if I can spell it right. gospider. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and finish filling that out. So for here, we're going to do -s, HTTP, and then the IP address. Now this is important. Whenever you're using this tool, you've got to put either HTTP or HTTPS so it knows which port to try to connect to. This -D tells it how far down the rabbit hole with links you want to try to go. In this case, I just use 3. That's kind of my default. If we hit enter, you see we get some information back. We get a code 200 on the actual page itself. It finds the link to the about.html, gets code 200, the admissions, the contacts, and then here it notes that the contact.html has a form on it. And of course, here's the index, which is the main page itself, and then the courses. And then you have your little slash, because technically this, and this are all the same, but depending on how sophisticated a website's set up, you get some different responses. To show you against a live website, I'll just use my own here. Go HTTPS, scandorf.page. As you can see, there's quite a bit of information that returns here. So of course, my website is basically just an aggregate for search engine information. So there's a lot of information here. The stats, it's freely available. You can see all the engine settings and stuff that I have set by default for anybody who visits. Of course, you can go in and change those if you want to. Just some other basic information here. There's nothing too much. That's why I don't mind using my site. You're not really going to expose too much of anything on here. And of course, here you go. it sees that as a form because that is a kind of like Google. You load up the page and you have your little search box there that you can type in your search for. So yeah, this one is a very short video for this series, but arguably is probably one of the most important things. If you listen to any bug bounty hunters, like especially like Namasec and anyone like that, taking the time to look through the website, to load pages, to try and find things is going to be worth your time and effort. Is going to help you learn how the website works. You can pull the code for the different pages, look through it, look for anything that gives hints to an image directory, an upload directory, something there you don't see a link or a button for on the web page itself. Sometimes you can see that stuff in the source code. So yeah, don't skip this step, even if it's for a box on Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. It's important and you need to make it a habit to do it and to both be able to do it manually, take good notes, and use a tool, but also take good notes on what the tool finds and verify it yourself. So that will be it for this one. Again, short video, but very important information. So thank you all for stopping by. If you like my content, please subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.